I guess most of us use Google Maps or even Android Auto to navigate around the cities. So wouldn't it be nice if we had a Google-based infotainment system?
Sorry, I don't understand.
I think I have my answer. Hello and welcome to a walkthrough video about Android Automotive. It's Android Automotive in a Volvo EX30. It's actually my second attempt at an Android Automotive video, because I recorded one in the Renault Scenic E-Tech, which I will leave for the channel members to review, but I don't think it deserves to be published to a wider audience, because it's not the fullest of the Android Automotive experiences, let's say. So let's talk about Android Automotive, what it is and why would you want it. It is an infotainment system which is heavily based on Google. So you log in with your Google account, and then you have access to your destinations, to your calendar, contacts, etc., etc. Actually, contacts, and whatever you have in your calendar. So it's easier to input or find certain destinations, because the system already knows where you might be going. This is something car makers have been trying to implement in their systems for a while, but it never really took off, because you change cars maybe every couple of years, maybe every couple of months. If that's your game, why not? So the car never had a chance to learn. Meanwhile, Google probably knows enough about you to know where your home is, where your next destination is going to be, and where are your common frequent destinations, so to speak. So it's always easier to find certain things, and as far as I'm concerned, this bit works quite well. Now, because this is Google and Google has some of the best maps out there, you would also expect that in an electric car, the system is going to be great at finding charging stations. And this one here, for some reason, is different to that in the Renault Megane, or was it Renault Scenic? Sorry, Renault Scenic E-Tech. So, for example, I am actually parked next to a charging station, and this charging station actually appears on the screen. This is good. However, if I scroll or move to here, there's another charging station here, that's good, but I know there's another charging station right here at this petrol station, but I see it only after zooming in quite a lot. Why isn't this displayed right there when I just swipe towards it? It just says petrol station. There is another Greenway station next to here, another electric station, but this one is inside a dealership, so it might not be as convenient or accessible for everyone. Also, this is a relatively slow one. But slow is not a problem, because what I can do is go to here, charging stations, and I can filter by, let's say, charging speed, power, so at least 50 kilowatts, at least 150, at least 350. I can choose the plug type, which also makes sense, and payment. Payment would work well if I could, for example, choose this Greenway here, but I can't. There is something called Volvo Public Charging Service. Don't know what it is, but the other ones may be available somewhere in Western Europe. They say they are common here in Poland. Plug surfing? Not really. Shell recharge? Okay. Maingau Autostrom? I don't think so. Charge map pass? never heard of it. B-Charge, never heard of it. Blink Network, never charged, and so on. The only one I know from this list is Ionity. There is no Greenway, which is, I think, the leader on the Polish market. There is no City, there is no Orlen, there is no Lotos, there is no Tauron, there is nothing here from the Polish list. So I'm surprised that Google hasn't included it, at least some of the charging stations that we have in Poland. Now, if I were to plan a route, say to another town, somewhere where I know it's going to be, okay, let's just, this is going to be a far one, because this is like 360 kilometers from where I am right now. And okay, so obviously I won't make it because I have only 40% of charge. So it says that I should charge somewhere along the way. Now I am next to a charger which is currently occupied, and it doesn't really say that I should use it, but I'm not sure if it knows it's occupied. I will check in a moment. It says I should go to a charging station somewhere here. Yes, there is one, and charge there for 24 minutes. And then, okay. And then I should charge somewhere along the way. Let me see, review those stops. Okay, so that one is a power dot. Again, not on the list and not supported by the card I have. And the other one is also a power dot, again, not supported by the card I have. And finally, yeah, I'll get there with a 10% state of charge. Now, there is no way to set my preferred desired state of charge at the destination, which by now should be kind of standard. Because if I know that there is no charger at my destination, or I don't have time to charge at my destination, I might want to have a set amount of charge at the destination and charge more accordingly along the way. So the system should know along the way and recalculate how much I should charge along the way. This one doesn't do that for some reason. Let me just cancel this. Also, I have no influence over the charging networks it chooses here, as I said. I wanted to check something and never mind. So this is the route planning, which is probably the crucial bit in an electric car. It works so-so. Let me see. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if it knows that this charger is occupied currently by 2 cars, actually. Okay, it tells me it's occupied, so at least it knows this much. So that's good. Other features of Android Automotive. So I have apps. There are some apps pre-installed. I can get more apps from the App Store. So for example, I got Pocket Casts. Now Pocket Casts, I had to replace Google Podcasts because Google killed Google Podcasts. Brilliant, guys. I'm not going to use YouTube Music because it sucks. So I use Pocket Casts. Now, Pocket Casts didn't work at all in Android Automotive, in Renault Scenic E-Tech. I had to switch to Android Auto to use it. This car doesn't have Android Auto, and that's good because I don't have to go back and forth between the systems. Pocket Casts I had to like log in again into my Google account for it to work, to download all my settings and podcasts from the cloud. Same thing with YouTube. If I go to YouTube, I have to log in, which means typing in my email address, my password, which is very long and very difficult. And then I have to do the 2-step authentication on my phone, which makes all this quite cumbersome. If I'm logged in here with my Google account, theoretically it should all work. Although, if I'm logged in here with my Google account, other people can still use the car, and perhaps I don't want them in my YouTube history. But then I have profiles, and yeah, profiles are needed to set the seat memory function. So for example, if I want to, okay, seats I can do with a button on the seat, and that's good. But if I want to change the mirror position, for example, I have to go into the settings here. I have to click mirrors, and then we're gonna do, it looks familiar if you've ever set your mirrors in a Tesla, doesn't it? So now if I close it, it's gonna ask me if I want to save this position. No, I don't want to save it. I want to restore. So if someone using my profile changed my position, like for example my partner Anna, she will usually leave the seat like that and exit the car. Now, the way for me to actually get back to my position is move the seat slightly, wait for the prompt if I want to restore, click restore, and then the seat goes back to my original position. So I have to lean through the door and reach the screen and do the whole thing. Now, why couldn't this be a button? Is it so expensive? But this is Volvo's choice. By the way, this car is on the scalable environmental architecture or something like that C2 platform, which is Geely's platform. So the EX30 is not the only car on this platform. We have also Smart #1, #3, and Zeekr X on the same platform. So these cars seem to have less minimalist cockpits, and I would imagine they have a bit more buttons, but Volvo chose the buttonless way, so to speak, or very minimalist way. Again, this is all very nice, just not very convenient. If you've seen my review of the Mini OS 9 infotainment system, you'll remember that I praised Mini for giving me access to certain features by pressing the icons. These lights, wipers, nothing happens. I have to go from the main screen to the car, to the settings, and then I can do something about various functions. Or I can say turn it off. Oh, I can't turn it off from here. No, I can only turn it off from here completely. Okay, so that's another thing. Similar lights. I have to go here, and from lights I can choose what else I wanna do. So this could have been done better, but it just hasn't been. If I want to adjust the volume, I have to click the screen. If I want to adjust the AC, I have to click the screen, and then I get additional functions. So could have been done better. Glove box is always easy to reach. The one thing I'm not really going to use. Car settings, let's just review those quickly. So here are the basic access settings, and that's fine. Then we have car status. So for example, when I'm parked, I can see my energy consumption, but if I'm driving, I have to click into this menu here to actually see what's happening. The current trip is actually from last charge, but you can set it after each trip if that's your thing. You can review your consumption of the last 50 or 100 kilometers. Then we have more advanced settings. So you have driving. Basically, every time you go out on a motorway and you start using adaptive cruise control, you have to set the time interval to vehicle ahead to whatever you want. By default, it's long. Long means a truck can cut in front of you. Short means only Polish drivers will cut in front of you. So I have to switch it to short. Steering feel, I'd say it's fine even if in its soft setting. One pedal driving, it's 1.5 pedal driving. You're not gonna forget about the brake like in some cars. It's mostly for city driving. Speed warnings, you can switch it off, and you can also assign it to a configurable button on the steering wheel, which I have. We'll get to those in a moment. Most safety features are okay-ish, but not what I would expect from Volvo. I've seen better on more grown-up Volvo models, so to speak. Then we have the controls, so that's everything else. Screen brightness, light settings, neutral ambience color. Okay, right. Or I can have it matching the mode. What else? Here is somewhere. Oh yeah, the customizable button. You can turn it to turn off ESA. You can set it to one pedal driving or the screen view. Screen view is basically this stuff here. I mean, really, not something I would need. So I just keep it set to disabling ESA. Okay, and from here we can go into profiles, and in the profile you can you can add accounts for other drivers, or you can assign them to keys. Again, not something I would really do, because for insurance reasons we usually use one key and the other one is locked in the safe, because if the car gets stolen, the insurance company wants two keys, and if you've been carjacked, again, you want to show at least one key. It's just an insurance thing, so we usually carry one key, so assigning profiles to the key doesn't work for us. It would work if we could assign it to an app. However, the app isn't very good. Let me see if I can launch it, because sometimes it crashes. Okay, so now it's showing me that the car is in use, so I can't really show you anything. I'll just show you the cutaways then. Basically, it's good for charging, to show you that you're charging, and that's it. But there is no driver profile in the app. And as far as I can tell, opening is very slow, and there is no way to start the car without the actual key. So again, not brilliant, not quite as seamless as you would get in Tesla, for example. But a lot of this does look like Tesla. Okay, so I think that's... Oh yeah, one more thing I will mention. When I was recording the Renault Scenic E-Tech Android Automotive video, I was actually parked and charging at the station next to us here, and I had to come here rather than charge at home because it didn't have limit charging current setting. So the Scenic E-Tech would take 22 kilowatts. Unfortunately, my house can only provide 11 kilowatts, which would be okay, but my wall box can spit out 22 kilowatts, and there is no way to set the limiter on the wall box. So it would trip the circuit breakers, which is what's supposed to happen when there is too high a power draw. But you couldn't set the limit within the car. Here you can set it within the car, which could be useful when you're, for example, at some dodgy charging spot at a camping site, for example. You don't want to be a nuisance to anyone. You just want to set the lowest current possible and kind of trickle charge rather than do a blackout in the area. So it's good that it has that. Other than that, the Volvo EX30 is a pleasant enough car to drive. The review is either already on the channel members only or will be there soon, and channel members get to watch early and without ads. So I suggest you become a channel member and support me for something like whatever, 50 cents or €1 a month. You'll get access to the entire backlog catalog, and you will get to see certain reviews weeks or even months ahead of everyone else. So I hope that's a perk sufficient for you to consider becoming a channel member. Thanks for watching. Press the subscribe button, bell, icon, clickety-click, and all that. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth, and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.